The topic for today is the title is scaffolding. Scaffolding is an interesting part to be considered and which is deviated from a theory, which is deviated from a theory.
Rihanna, it's muted.
Scaffolding is a theory which is deviated from an interesting theorist and which is to be considered in a classroom system like an essence for a learning. When we talk about scaffolding, in simply, we'll give you a description through a picture. This is bars and roads which you see in a building construction for the supporting system, which is not a permanent but a temporary one, but very essential. That is what a scaffolding does during a classroom education system. Here, so you can see there are few questions. The question number one, when is it built? So it is built during the process of building to support the building process. For what it is used to support the workers to keep the bricks straight and how long due to a very short period temporarily. But after it is removed after the building is feeling strong, able to continue its work originally primarily by itself, and it is steady and strong. Next slide, it says, so the definition for scaffolding is an instructional practice where a teacher gradually removes guidance and support as students learn and become more competent. For the very short and brief meaning for scaffolding is an peer who is more knowledgeable than other, a teacher, a parent is providing a support for student while to the level up to the point where the student is able to do that particular work independently. That is the short and brief definition for scaffolding. Goal of scaffolding in teaching is it increase the student proficiency level, develop skills as self-regulated learners. Due to the support provided, the learner is able to do the particular task by himself. Excuse myself. So, and it provide appropriate instructional support based on needs and context of the complexity. And next slide, ZPD. It is abbreviation of Zone of Proximal Development. Zone of Proximal Development is something which a learner can do with assistance. There is where the scaffolding meets. So zone of proximal development is defined as the space what a learner can do without assistance and what a learner can do with adult guidance, collaboration, and more capable peers, which is scaffolding. So zone of proximal development ZPD, teaching below the ZPD, teaching beyond the ZPD, scaffolding, teaching within the ZPD. That is what which is shown in the diagram. So the blue one, the navy shows which the learner can do independently. And here the middle part where the scaffolding meets what a learner can do with assistance. That means with the scaffolding. And which the learner can't do by themselves, which needs more of work, more of practice and knowledge. And I hope you understand and excuse myself here due to the noise and over to the next person.
So thank you, Rihanna. And here is my part. Here we see the definition of zone of proximal development and ZPD. So it's the difference between what a learner can do independently and what they can achieve with guidance, right? So this concept highlights the importance of teacher support in helping children reach their full potential. So it means learning happens best when children are slightly challenges but still supported. So next slide we can see um Rihanna. So this slide continues to illustrate the idea of ZPD is the gap between what students can do independently on with support. It represents the space where students can learn and achieve with additional guidance. So sorry for the noise. So wait a second. So, so this illustrates the idea of PT is the key takeaway is that learning is not fixed, right? So with the right scaffolding, learners can move from what they couldn't do yet. So into what they are capable to mastering. So next slide, we can see progressive nature. Next slide. So scaffolding is progressive in nature. At first, new support are introduced for difficult challenges, right? As the students grow, they gradually take on a more complex tasks, right? So over time, the supports fade away as learners become more independent. So this gradual release ensure confident and long-term skill development. So next slide, we can see implementation. So effective scaffolding requires careful planning, right? So teachers need to first assess students' prior knowledge, right? So then they must continuously monitor students' growth and adjust support accordingly. So some support may need to stay longer, while others can be removed as the child gain confidence. So next slide we can see adaptability. So finally, scaffolding is adaptable, right? It can be adjusted, reduced. Next slide. Okay, thank you. So reduce, adjust, reduce, or even completely removed as student progress. So this main goal is always to balance students with independence so that learners eventually take ownership of their own learning journey. So thank you all to the next teacher.
Thank you. Can I start?
Yeah, you are.
Determine prior knowledge. First, find out what student already know before starting the new topic. Example, ask question, do a pre-test or a discussion. Second thing, set a goal for learning. Decide what students should achieve learning outcomes. Example, by the end of the lesson, student will be able to read simple sentence. Third thing, plan instructional support. Break down difficult concept into smaller manageable steps with guidance. Example, use picture, demonstration or guided practice. Fourth thing, implement lesson and monitor progress. Teach the lesson and check if students are learning through formative assessment and feedback. Example, ask quick question, observe their work or give short tasks. Fade support, gradually reduce your help so that student can do the task independently. Example, at first you read together, later they read alone. 6, continue building and feedback. Keep supporting with new content, continuous monitoring and feedback for improvement. Second slide. Unit and lesson planning. Carefully plan lessons so that concepts are introduced step by step. Instructional practices. Use teaching method like modeling, questioning, giving hints, and guided practice. Third thing, monitoring learning. Constantly check students' understanding through observation, quizzes, and feedback. Learning activities. Provide meaningful and engaging activities which students apply when they learned. Next slide. Types of strategies: KVL chart, brainstorming, uh, tap into prior knowledge, visual aids, um, post PA pause as question, post review, pre-teach vocabulary, give time to talk, show and tell, mini lesson, provide checklist. Next slide. Model all teacher. Teacher demonstrate or show how to do something. Second, guide mostly teacher. Teacher guides while student try with support. Gradual release mostly students. Students take more responsibility with teacher checking. Independent all students. Student can do the task on their own confidently. Next slide. Kindergarten KVL chart. Topic is tree. There are what I know, what I wonder, what I learn. What I know, they are telling trees come in different shapes and sizes. Trees grow in forest and everywhere. Trees are beautiful like that. Then what I wonder, how trees grow, how trees are protected like that. What I learn, mm barks Barks protect the trees. They grow through the sun and the chemical in their leaves. Trees can grow anywhere, especially in forest. Thank you, teacher. And over to next teacher.
Thank you, Hamza teacher. And we can see the next slide is about KWL chart. So we can create a wonderful wall like this in our school. So what is KWL in preschool? How can we promote this? It is an acronym for know, wonder, and learn. It's effective way to read with purpose. KWL is easy to apply and can lead to significant improvement in your ability to learn. Example, the children will find more abilities by learning in this, and it is also efficiency and to reading. What you can learn, what we can teach the children from this. So here, the students are motivated and engaged. They increase engagement when students ask what they want to learn, and we also can tell this way makes it more interesting and exciting. So we can make a wonder wall and make the children know if they had knew something. We can take a topic example like tree. Let's know what they know about trees and how it grows, how fruit comes, and etc. And after that, what they learn about it, we can ask them and write and paste on the wall. So we can make a chart like this in our classroom and make the students engaging. The next slide. The type of areas is scaffolding in kindergarten. We can use the method like language development, mathematical development, critical thinking and problem solving, social and emotional development. We can see the link below, which they have told about the ProCare link. We can open it and use the software there. So in kindergarten, scaffolding types include sensory, interactive, and graphic methods. which use objects, actions, and sense to teach our new sense to teach the students. So collaborative learning is very effective here, and turn and talks to fosters discussions and graphic organizers, mind maps, and charts to make learning visible. Yes, the unique scaffolding techniques for kindergarten classroom. Here, these are all methods we can use in the classroom. The first one is the interactive storytelling and block building, visual thinking strategies and for language development. Then scaffolding art project, use of manipulatives, role play for social behavior skills, question techniques, and also we can demonstration modeling, daily affirmations, circle time. And the next slide is the scenario one. The next slide. Yes. A child is playing with blocks. If you take a child playing with blocks and is frustrated that the tower keeps falling down, he keeps on setting and the tower is keeping on falling down. So ask promotion questions. But we can ask him, what do you think would happen if we didn't build the tower quite so taller? So you give a range of possible answers to think about. So if a child is having trouble coming up with an answer, the educator can provide multiple answers to choose from in order to help the child come up with it. And also, you can make suggestions, offer hints of practical solution that might solve the problem. Your block tower keeps falling down. Do you want to try putting up a bigger blocks in the bottom? So we can ask the child, why not you put a block heavy one in the bottom? So use a demonstration. The educator can simply sit and make his own version of block tower to demonstrate how the blocks work best and to provide physical support. Scaffolding can also take the form of physical assistance. Educator can hold the blocks at the bottom to help the child stabilize the tower. And the next slide, in the next slide, yes, during story time, an educator uses scaffolding to help children think more deeply about the book. Example, ask promoting questions. Example, we can ask what made Sophie feel less angry. Give an alternative answer for the children to answer. If none of the children's response are correct, the educator may reframe the question in a different way. Example, we can say, where did Sophie go after she tipped over the toy truck? What else did she do? We can ask multiple questions. So you make suggestions. I noticed that Sophie seemed calmer when she came back home. What did she do before she came back into the house? We can ask the question. Use a demonstration. Example, the lead educator and instructional assistant may act out different scenes from the book and ask the children how Sophie feels at each part. In each of these scenarios, the educator is allowing the child to perform at a higher level than they would be able to make their own. The same strategy works whether the child is stuck while counting, sorting, creating a plan, or even opening a snack box. Thank you. Over to the other teacher.
Good evening. Next slide, please. Explicit instruction. So I'm going to talk about explicit instruction. It is a way to scaffold instruction by increasing student work through the following these stages. Basically, it's I do, we do, and the other parties. Next slide, please. Yes, I do, we do, and you do. Let's see what is this I do, we do, and you do. It is very simple. It is you can also understand by looking at it. It's basic concept, but even though it's very simple, there's a deeper connection into these kind of activities. So the instruction I do. Modeling and thinking aloud is done by the instructor. So the in the classroom, what is I do? So, when you talk about the early childhood development center, preschool classroom, the teacher is the one who is modeling the children. So, teacher is the one who is creating lesson plans. So here, basically, I do is the teacher. She is the thinker. She is creating lesson plan and module. That is I do. Then the guided practice, we do. That means teacher and the students. Student work together. Student and instructor work together. That is what we call the collaboration. So guided practice we do. Student under teacher's supervision work together to get the concept into their head. So by doing hands-on activities, by doing their own works, they are following the instruction from the teacher. They are taking the help from the teacher and they work themselves together. Then they will get the idea. Then the other part is you do. Independent practice, you do. So if student get the idea by from the teacher, the modeling, and they work together, and they will learn work in their own. So we are teaching these students not to just get the information, right? It is to their, it's for their life. So from these concepts, I do, we do, and you do means from the teacher you get the help, with the student you, with your peers you do work together, and finally you can work your own things without even a help from the teacher. That is I do, we do, and you do. Next slide, please. So, yes, there are some YouTube lead videos. Yeah, that you can take really nice tips. What is this explicit instruction and scaffolding education? You can go through these links and take the idea. Next slide, please. Next slide. You can see, yes, that is the activity. Yes, those are the activities from the above link. That is a YouTube link. So this activity is from YouTube. Here, teacher guide asks this child to stand on the color, the blue color. When teacher says blue, student keep their 2 feet on the blue line. Then teacher asks the yellow color, student jump to the yellow line, and then the green color, then the red color. So it is really nice activity, you can see. So explicit and the scaffolding education, even though these are very huge concepts, but basically in simple activities, from these activities you can give this to your students. Next slide, please. Yes, this one also, balance and cooperation. So here, two students balancing the ring with their body. So for this activity, they can't use their hands. So they have to balance it. So all the things we talk about in deeply from beginning to end are all the concepts are included in this kind of activities. Even though we can see it's a really nice and simple activity, yes, it is, because when it's come to our kids, we have to be always simple. But even though we did a simple activity, there's a lot of things behind that. As educators, as teachers, we have to understand that. Thank you, teacher. Over to you.
Thank you.
Next.
Thank you, teacher. Okay. Now, this also one fun activity. Now, you can see this all activities. We are support to the children to develop their day by day the classroom activity, how they can implement that one and how they can improve there. That is the we are learning. So you can see other slide also. Yeah, this one also one kind of activity. The children's are doing this activity, 3 to 4 children in kindergarten. the cooking activity. Then we can make the food sellers like that. So first we are support them. Then after they can do themselves along. That is the very important here. Other slide we can see. Next slide we can see this one also one kind of activity. This all size activities are in other side. Yeah. This also like that we are we doing some activity that think we because some activities we are thinking they don't have time to set up the whole thing, but little thing we give for them, they will start that one. That is this important. We give the small step to them, they will start. So our support. First we have to give support. Then after we can do that one in along. Then they can do that one in along. Another slide. Next slide. This one also like the children can get fun for the free at school. This also is like that. So in full session, we learn in this full session, I think we came to the ending, how first we have to give some support for the children. Then after, they will do that one without our support. Little push. We have to give the little push for them. They can move on along. So always didn't give the help for them. No need to help always. We have to give little push them. Then after they can do very easily their work activities. Another slide. I think we are going to end this session. Okay, thank you so much for all teachers and all for this support for us. Then I think you get good idea about this lesson. Thank you so much. Teacher, I will share the one. Fifth one.
The fourth one, no, teacher.
Fourth one, okay. I can't find it. Wait a minute. Can you share it? Oh my God.
Teacher, see the last message, teacher.
Okay.
Teacher, you can click
Okay,
the
okay.
arrow and get down.
Okay. Thank you, teacher. Okay, it is okay. Okay, welcome to our international project of the capacity development, ECCD teachers in South Asian countries. Now today we are going to do the presentation, module part 2, module 4. So in here we are going to talking about the Socratic method of the teaching. So first of all, I invite all teachers to this session. This is our lecture. She's a very nice. She gave us a lot of idea in these sessions. Thank you so much, Natya ma'am. So I'm going to see little far about our way. Okay. Can you, I think you can remember this one. We do this 14, not 15, one is here missing, IA method. First, understanding and STEM education, understanding STEM in early childhood education, curriculum development and resource, hands-on experience learning, applying the scientific method and method concept on early childhood. Other one we apply here AI classroom, technology in the classroom, engineering and designing, talking and promoting and collaboration, supporting device and learning, assignment and reflection. Otherwise, creating in inclusive, familiar and communicative engagement and professional development. This all we did in our previous lessons. I think you can remember that one by one we move on. We learn a lot of things in here. Then after we learn. Okay, today we are going to learn Socratic method. Do not teach. I do not teach. I only ask questions. Can you take any idea? Okay. The Socratic method is the ECCD. What is the Socratic method? Socratic method is involving asking open-ended question and stimulate the critical thinking and promote the dialogue. This is the approach they engaging children to the exploring their ideas and benefits, forcing the deep understanding and concept. Its shift on the force for the learning activity is the engagement. That means we are asking the question. First, we have to ask the questions. We are asking the question, they can understand, they can analyze, they can think critically, they can think, what is this? First of all, we showed anything or first of all, we told anything, then after no need there, more there. So first, we didn't show anything. First, we are asking the question. The question is asking time. We can see lot of different answers there. Lot of different answers we can see in there. So that is a very nice thing in the classroom. Okay, the practical exam in the classroom.
Fine,
So,
teacher. Sorry.
okay, sorry, thank you. Thank you, teacher.
So, okay, now let's look at the same practical example of how we can use Socrates questioning in the classroom. Teacher can ask simple, powerful question like, so what do you think about? What do you believe? So these questions are not about giving children the right answer, but about encouraging them to think deeply and express their own thoughts, right? So by doing so, children engage more in discussion, right? So which help them gain deeper insight and truly understand the material rather than memorizing it. So next slide, we can see insights. So when we incorporate Socrates' methods, so next slide, please. So insight. When we incorporate Socrates' methods in early childhood education, the learning experience become sorry for that. So learning experience become more richer. It fosters a culture of inquiry and dialogue. So instead of passively receiving information, children learn to ask questions, explore, and reason, right? So this method doesn't just support their classroom learning, it equips them with essential life skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and communication. These are skills that will guide them throughout their educational journey and beyond, even beyond, right? So, next slide, you can see Socrates probing questions. Now, next slide. So, finally, let's look at what make a good Socrates questioner. So, a teacher or facilitators should keep that point, right? So keep the discussion focused, keep the discussion intellectual responsible. So stimulate the discussion, uh, probing questions. And the fourth one, and importantly, summarize what hasn't been addressed, right? So, in short, the teacher's role is to guide the dialogue, keeping it meaningful, respectful, and productive. So, thank you. Over to the next teacher.
Thank you, teacher. Socratic method of teaching. This is a teaching style that comes from the Greek philosopher Socrates, instead of just giving answer. The teacher used question and discussion to help students think deeply and discover answer from themselves. First thing, open-ended question. Asking question that don't have simple yes no answer. Encouraging student to think and explain. Hypothesis and argument generation. Students are encouraged to form their own ideas and defend them with resource. Ellen's cross-examination. Teacher challenge student answer with counter example or future question or refine their thinking. Dialectual, not didactic. Learning happens through dialogue and exchange of ideas, not by the teacher giving lectures. Next slide. Socratic manner. Moral ethical issue. Exploring big questions with no definite right or wrong. Example, is it ever okay to lie? Second thing, text literature analysis and debates. Understanding stories, poem, or science scanseries deeply. Moral dilemmas. Discussing challenging life choices. Scientific inquiries using questioning to explore experiments or problems. Complex real world problems like psychology, business, or case studies. Art classes developing critical thinking and visual literacy. Literary works doing deep in interpretation and analysis of books and poems. Next slide. The Socratic method of questioning. It is a way of learning and teaching through asking and answering questions. The aim is the analyze problem, test, assumption, check evidence, and understand the uh, consequence of idea. Instead of giving answer directly, it guides people to think critically and find answer themselves. Thank you. I hand over to next teacher.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, the teacher. Now we learned about the Socratic way of teaching, and we also came to know how to make questions out of that. So I am here to say the challenging assumptions. So what type of questions can be asked from a child to make their challenging assumptions? Example, what would happen if? We can ask a question like that. What could be assumed instead? How could you verify or disapprove? How did you choose the assumptions? So we can ask such questions and open-ended questions to the kid. And the third is the evidence, and rationale. How do you know this? How might it be refuted? What do you think causes? What evidence is there is that supports? And the next slide, the fourth one, we can ask a question based on considering implications and consequences. Example, we can ask questions like how does affect, how did it do, how does it happen, how did it affect, and what generalization can we make? How does fit with your experience tell us? We can ask their opinion. What are the consequences of assumptions? And the sixth way of method is the meta questions. What does it mean? What is the point of the question? Why do you think I asked this? So these type of questions we can regulate in our classroom. And a short summary which I can do for you in this theoretic method, we can ask the open-ended question like example, we are going to teach the students how to plant grow into a tree. We can ask how a plant grows into a tree. So we will have numerous answers. This is the step 2. And in step 3, we can ask more complicated questions from the child until the original answer comes from them. The step 4, we will be asking the same question again and again until we get the correct answer. Without explaining them the theory, we want them to come with their own answers and ideas. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Rosna. Okay. Tips for Socratic method. So as a moderator, educator, or as a facilitator, you always don't need to be an expert in your own field, but it's always appreciable to becoming an expert in your own field or particular subject matter. So what is important is that you are able to ask the right question and practice a great level of moderation skills in your own to guide the discussion and help student behavior unleash their own assumption, biases, and misconception. So here below are the set of tips which help you to be an effective Socratic facilitator in your own classroom. So, number one, let's have a look at create a safe environment without a fear. As a teacher and as an educator, we first ourselves should need a very good confident, a very good eloquent level of well-spoken level skill, and that strong skill of asking the exact right question. So, balanced participation to all students give equal opportunity to talk, especially for shy students. Number three, be flexible for unexpected turns in topic. So we get into a topic not all the time prepared, but we have to be flexible for unexpected turns and twists. Promote depth and breadth. Guide them to connect their insight to broader thinking, themes, and implication. Summarize and synthesize periodically. Summarize the key points or themes, synthesize into coherent conclusions. Number six, model curiosity and humility, which is the important one. Next slide, please. Okay. Final thoughts about this particular lesson. So with this example, you might have got a very good idea about tips and guidelines on Socratic methods of teaching. You are very well occupied to conduct your own Socratic classroom with confidence. Remember, you are a role as a facilitator is not to have all the answers. So it's not before in the traditional teaching methods, we always say it has a teacher-based one, a teacher-centered model. Now here with the 21st century, we are integrating into technology, more new classroom methods, which are upcoming in the next lesson we're going to learn. So here a teacher is more than a facilitator, a guide here. So it's not to have all the answers, but to guide the students in uncovering, unleashing their own insight and understanding. Don't forget to enjoy the journey of exploration and discovery with the students along the way. We used to hear certain things in the past. The teacher used to say, we are also learning with the student, which is interesting. That is what this method used to say simply, and having a very good questioning skill with your students. Next slide, please. Ms. Safrina, next slide, please. Thank you. A self-Socratic method. Number one, let's focus into forecasting. Little bit upper. Ms. Safrina, yeah, thank you. It's perfect. Yeah, thank you. Focusing. What are the fears that keep you stuck? What are your self-limiting beliefs? So this is something we have to focus. When you are in a mess and you focus on what's the problem, you get the solution. That's what it means. And you have to understand what is the origin of these beliefs, what content did develop in, what behavior patterns accompany these beliefs, and are there any vicious cycles? Number three comes the curiosity. If you mentally take a step back, what perspective are you missing? Is there missing context? What are the gaps in knowledge, which is important to be which is important to be promoted in the next step? And are there things you know that you are forgetting? Are there important experience you have yet to have because of your avoidance or control strategies? Number four, summary and synthesis, the important part. How can you pull it all together, create a balanced point of view? How can you put your new perspective into the practice, and what do you still need to learn or test it out? Over to the next slide. Ms. Delaney. Yes. Thank you. Over to the next teacher.
Am I audible, teachers?
Yes.
Next slide, please, teacher. Yes. Here, now we talk about today Socrates. So there are a lot of e-resources for Socrates method. Socrates seminars in actually in preschools and the kindergarten. So here you can see, yeah, e-resources, teacher. Earlier one. Yes. See, the lecture, our facilitator has provided us so many resources, and also I'm going to talk about what are the other websites and guides you have to follow to get more knowledge about this Socrates seminar. So we are teachers. This website offers a comprehensive guide to Socrates seminar, including a free portable list of Socratic seminar question and tips for implementation. And read with think. This website provides a strategy guided for Socrates seminars, including research basic, step-by-step instruction, and related resources. And learning for justice. This website offers guidance of instruction, structuring Socrates seminars, including selecting center texts, preparing questions, and dividing students into teams. So these are the e-resources you can find. And also there are resources for special needs. So those are the things you can find from the internet. Next slide, please. Socrates seminars in kindergarten. Yes, that is there. This one also a link they have provided. So from this, basically, it says what are the approaches that we can implement in our early childhood educated centers. So picture-based discussions and storytelling and guided facilitations. So these are the basic strategies, basic approach that we can take from the Socrates seminars. And what are the benefits from those things? So applying Socratic seminars is very beneficial for our small kids because it develops critical thinking, encourages students to think deeply about the topics. So even though we talk about trees, it is encourage them to think deeply, develop their critical thinking. So the next one is improve communication. When we use this Socrates seminar approach, they improve communication skills and promote collaboration. Yes, next slide. It is about role of Socrates seminars. There are certain rules in Socrates seminars. So respect dialogue. So debate discussion. Open question. No raised hands, in and outer circle, facilitated rules, student-led discussion. The previous slide, teacher. I'm talking the things in those links. So there's not mentioned there. When you do those things, you will be able to find out what are the rules in Socrates men. And last one is Socrates preschool. That is also very common thing, even though we use this Socratic method, is basically we do in the classroom. So the key principle is ask open-ended question. This kind of things we use always in the classroom. So the Socratic method also, they say the key principle is ask open-ended question and use concrete examples and encourage expression. So let me tell example question. We are, what do you think about will happen? And how do you think we can solve this problem? What do you notice about this? What do you notice about picture? So some common questions that we can ask from this Socratic method, and it is really encouraging them to develop their critical thinking and improve their collaboration. So these strategies are used in this Socrates seminar. Am I audible, teacher?
Yes,
Yeah,
teacher.
you are audible.
Right. Okay. So I think that is we have come to end of session. That is the last slide. Rules of Socrates. Socrates preschool. So these are the ways humans can board what I call it was that we have come to an end of this session. Even with a short session, Socrates now it's very interesting. Socrates, we are using psychology also, and can do our kindergarten lecture. Thank you. Shall we start the next lesson?
Okay, teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Lecture 6, 7.
Okay, now? Okay. Welcome to the international project for the capacity development of ECCD teacher in South Asian countries. Now we are going to move on to our other lecture. We are going to learn now here. Sorry. Different type of learning methods. This is a part 2, lecture 5. This is our ma'am, Natya ma'am.
Actually, sorry, teacher, sorry to interrupt.
Okay,
It's lecture 5, 6, and 7.
yeah, sorry. We are going to do the lecture 6, 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, thank you. So we are going to do the 5, 6, and 7. Now this is the 5 we are starting. Then first one we are going to see the objective of these lessons. So you can see this objective in this lesson. We are going to learn, we are going to see in here what are the experience learning, projective basing learning, inquiry basing, and problem basing for collaborative learning. So we told it one first one is experiential learning. That one is EL method. Other one is project based learning, PJL method. Other one inquiry based mean IBL method. Problem based learning mean PBL method. Collaborative learning CL method. Blended learning BL method. Other one flipped class FC method. Designing talking DT method. Real world application RWA method. Gamification learning GL method. So we are going to learn, we are going to discuss about this lesson in this 5, 6, and 7 module, our presentations. So what you thinking about this learning methods? In our classroom, we doing something in regularly we are doing. We are teaching to the children, and after we are giving some question to write the answer. Then after we are analyzing, they can or can't. So that is the regularly. So all we can see this one's all method, like that method in our classroom. But in here we are going to learn little bit different. First, I'm going to talk about the experiential learning, teaching learning process. Okay, in here, what is this external learning? This process is students learn by doing, reflecting on their experience and applying knowledge in real world concept. This method encourages activity, participation, making learning more relative and impactful. It helps to develop essential skills such problem solving and critical thinking. So how we can achieve this one to the learn? How we can do? The talking out, take out the classroom, out the education to like a nature field trip. Other one we can make the culture events, then their own communities. So like that, lot of things we can do in here. So it is not like just learning method. This is a very different one. This is a very experienced one. So they can learn in here with their experience. They can do this one in their experience. So the academic install the we can make some field trip, cinema hall or spas and so etc. etc. We can do lot of field trip and we can give the idea in here. So Let's see a little example for this ETL method. First one is nature, walk and discover. So in here, we can take the activity, take the children on nature walk around the school or near the park. Then after we can take to the collect some things, and we can give the magnify glass and they can observe environment. So there are learning lot of type of animals, birds, and what are the plant in here we can see. So they will analyze in their knowledge. Other one, we can do the cooking activity. We can make the food salad. We can make any baking item. So that's also one example for ETL method. Other one, the building with the blocks. We know this one we are doing in our classroom. We can do this one to the with children. We can do this one like a team base we can give. Other one is the role playing community helpers. So set up the drama, and we can ask your role of play. We can give the children. You are the doctor. You are the teacher. So the like that we can do the role play, and we can do this one. Other example, art explosion. That means we can give the white color paper sheet for them, and we can ask with the draw yourself. Then you can draw anything that very nice different way arts we can see the children, because this is a very nice experience for them. Other one, the sensory bin activity. Other one, storytelling with the puppets. So like that. Thank you, teacher. And move on the other teacher. Excuse me.
Yeah, okay. Today we are going to see the project-based learning. So project-based learning is the instructional methodologies that encourage students to learn by engaging in real words and personally meaning projects. So it emphasizes active exploration and inquiry. So allowing students to gain knowledge and skills, but by working on the projects over an extended periods, right? So here are some key aspects and benefits of PBL. So when we can see real world connection, so we can connect issues or challenge, right? So second one, student centers have their own voice. So the third one, so disciplinary approach, so like make connection across discipline, right? So fourth one is the collaboration, so critical thinking. So it develop the teamwork thinking skills. So fifth one is the reflection. So learning outcomes and reflect their own project in better ways, right? So engagement, students learn interest and motivation. So seventh, deep learning, deep understanding skills development apart from content knowledge, learn better preparation for the future, so real life challenge in workplace. So we can see implementation strategies. So start small, clarify, define objectives, provide resources, guidance, supportive environment, incorporate technology and evaluation and reflect. So next slide, please. So we can see the example for PBL method. So we can see 5 example in that. So in that slide, so we can see introduced to the project site, like the gathering children's and discuss with water communities, right? So it's used pictures, books, or videos about communities, so helpers like fingerprints, doctors, teachers. So police officer. So ask question like who help us in our neighborhood. So what jobs do these people do? So second one, brainstorming session. So facilitate a group discussion where children can share their thoughts and ideas about community health. So record their ideas on a whiteboard or large paper. So field trip, so organize a field trip, visit a local community helpers work place such as a fire situation or a police situation. So if possible, or invite community helpers to the classroom to speak with the children about their job. So fourth one, research and exploration. So allow children to pick a community helpers they are interested in learning more about, right? So provide resources such as books, videos, and internet access for the children to learn more about their chosen helper. So fifth, final, art and craft activities. So we already do our classroom, right? So engage the children in creative activities such as drawing pictures of their community helpers, creating models like a police, car, and ambulance. So dressing us up as their chosen expert. So next slide, please. So we can see another for example, right? Role playing, creating a community helper books. So presentation day, reflection and assessment, right? So role play, we can set up a role playing areas where children can pretend to be different community helpers, as use costumes and props that represent various professions. So creating a community helper books, like each child can continue a page to a class book about their chosen community helper. So they can draw, illustrate, and dictate. So sentence about what they learn, right? So bind the pages together to create a community helper book that can be sent home or displayed in the classroom. So presentation day, we can organizing a day where children can showcase what they have learned. So they can present their community helpers book act out a skirt, so or display their artwork, invite present and other class to attend. So reflection and assessment. After the presentation, gather the children to reflect on their learning experience. Also ask questions like, what was your favorite part of the project, right? So what new things did you learn? So we can use this question, like use this discussion to access their understanding and gather feedback on the project. So throughout this project-based approach, kindergarten children not only learn about community helpers but also develop critical thinking, teamwork, creativity, and communication skills. Is provide a hostility and interactive learning experience that connect them to the world around them. So next slide, please. So we can see inquiry based learning, so we can see some circle like that. So we can ask question, investigation, create, discussion, reflect. So gathering information to expand your knowledge by asking question, right? So how is your inquiry based learning used? So inquiry, so we can divide inquiry traditional, so inquiry like we can for including points in that curiosity is satisfied class engagement here in the communication. So we know that in the communication, like it connecting each other to work together independently. So independent learning. So traditional we can base first based memorization, repetition, lack of curiosity. So thank you. Over to the next teacher.
Thank you, teacher. And the examples we can give for IBL method. Yes, IBL method. They have given us 6 steps. One is the introduction and the provocation. Activity begin with a short story or a video about butterflies. Ask open-end questions such as what you notice about butterflies, or where do you think the butterflies come from? And the purpose from this is this provocates curiosity and encourages children to share their ideas and observations. So they start searching and they start searching questions, sorry, answers to give. And the step 2 method is a questioning. Activity is after the story gathered, the children in a circle create a chart where they can express their questions about butterflies, such as what do butterflies eat, or why are they colorful? And the purpose of this asking question, this helps children to articulate their curiosities and can guide the direction of the inquiry. Step 3, the exploration. Activity is set up different exploration stations around the classroom. Station 1, example, insect butterflies discovery bin. Include pictures, books, and butterflies, magnifying glasses, and imagine that they are life cycle. Station 2, art station. Provide materials for children to create their own butterflies using papers, colors, and craft supplies. And station 3, outdoor observation. If possible, we can take the children outside to observe butterflies in nature or look for caterpillars or plants. The purpose is through hands-on exploration, children can engage in discovery and fill the gaps in their understanding. So the step 4 is discussing and reflection. The activity we can give them is we can gather the children back together to share what they found out, encourage them to refer to the questions, chart and discuss any answers they discovered during exploration. So the purpose from this is we can exit the step reinforces learning through discussion and reflection. And the fifth step is the next slide, extension activities. Activity based on interest expressed, plan further activities. And also we can have class project, create a butterfly garden in the schoolyard. Students can help choose plants and attract butterflies. So the guest speaker, we can invite a local entomologist or a parent who loves butterfly to share more information. The purpose is we can extending the teaching experience, keeps the inquiry going and allows for deeper engagement. And the step 6, assessment and documentation. The activity we can give is throughout the inquiry process, take notes on children's questions and responses. After the unit, ask the children to draw their favorite butterfly and explain it to the class. So the purpose from this is this documentation helps assess understanding and provides opportunity for children to express what they have learned. So the conclusion from this IBL method is inquiry-based learning in kindergarten foster a sense of curiosity and engages children to take active role in their learning. By engaging with real-world topics like life cycles of a butterfly, children develop critical thinking skills, creativity, and a love for exploration. So this is what Mrs. Nitya Jain ma'am taught us. Rather than this, we can give the children the life cycle of a chick, the life cycle of a frog, etc. So the next slide is the PBL method. So that is a problem-based learning. Problem-based learning is a teaching approach where children learn by exploring and solving real-life problems. Instead of the teacher giving answers directly, children can work in groups, ask questions, experiments, and they can come to a solution. So here, learning in initiate by a problem is based on a complex or a real world problems. Example, we can tell them the missing snack. The scenario is the teacher introduces a problem. Any problem, we can create a problem by telling the children that some snack meant for the class party have gone missing. So here they have given this example. The teacher can ask, how can we find out what happens to our snack and make sure that they don't go missing again? So the step-by-step process our Nitya Ma'am Jain explains us is introduction of the problem. So gather the students in a circle and explain that the snack for their upcoming party was missing. And we can show them a picture of the snack they were supposed to have. Example, we can show them a cookie or a donut or a lollipop. Example. So the brainstorming from this activity is we can encourage students to share ideas about where the snack could be. We can ask guiding questions like who might have taken them or where do you usually keep our snacks? Write down their answers in a whiteboard or a poster. So the examples for PBL method, Nitya ma'am tells us more. That is investigation. Organize a classroom scavenger hunt. Assign small groups to explore specific areas of the classroom, like the kitchen, the cubies, or the lost and found areas. To search the clues about missing snacks, encourage them to document their finding and drawing or by taking pictures. After that, we can discuss the finding. Once the investigation is completed, bring the students back together and ask what they have found. Ask questions. Did you find any solution? Sorry, did you find the snack? Or what clues did you find? Help them connect their findings to the original problem. So the solution development facilitate a discussion on how they can prevent future snack mishaps. Questions might include what can we do to keep our snacks safe, or where should we store them. Help them come up with practical solutions such as create and design snack area with a sign, or developing a snack monitoring system. Like we can assign a snack bulletin. So the implementation, we can see their solution in the classroom. For example, it creates a fun sign and indicates the snack area or snack helpers each day. So the reflection from this is end the activity with the reflection session. Ask the children what they learned from this process. What did they enjoy? Was there anything that surprised them? This helps solidify their understanding and the skills they used. So the teamwork we can see here, how they did the problem solving, and also we can see their critical thinking. So the learning outcome from this problem-based learning is cognitive skills. Students learn to think critically by analyzing the problem and developing solutions. And also we can see the social skills. They work collaboratively, shared ideas, and communicated their findings. And also the emotional development. They learn the importance of responsibility and also caring for their belongings. This problem-based approach makes learning interactive, engaging, and relevant to their everyday experience. And also, this improves thinking and reasoning, builds teamwork and communication skills, encourage creativity and problem solving, makes learning fun and meaningful. Thank you. I think the other teacher can continue.
Okay. Thank you, teacher. CL, collaborative learning. Collaborative teaching and learning in kindergarten refer to an educational approach where teachers, students, and sometimes parents or other stakeholder work together in a coordinated way to enhance the learning experience. The process emphasizes teamwork, communication, and active participation in the classroom. Here are some key compounds of this approach in a kindergarten setting. Collaborative teaching and learning in a kindergarten setting can be implemented through various activities and approach. Here an example of a collaborative teaching and learning process. Example for the community garden project. Objective: to teach kindergartens about nature, teamwork, and responsibility through a hands-on gardening experience. Steps: first thing is planning the garden. Group discussion: what gather student in a circle to discuss what plant they would like to grow. Each child can share their favorite fruits, vegetable, or flowers. Next, use stickers or simple voting techniques to decide on a few plants to grow. This helps teach discussion, decision making, and concession. Next slide. Stop. Teach. Stop. Second thing, assigning roles. No, teacher. Next slide. Safina, teacher. First slide. Yeah. Assigning roles. Each child can take on a specific role related to the garden. Example, planter, waterer, weeder, observer. Teachers can create simple job chart that rotate weekly to allow everyone to experience different responsibility. Next slide. Safina teacher. Example for CTL method. First thing, preparing the space. In pair or small groups, students can help prepare the garden bin by removing weeds and rocks. This teaches cooperation and physical skills. And during the setup, students could also create garden makers using painted rocks or wooden sticks with drawing of the plants they will be growing. Next thing, planting. Hands-on activity. When it's time to plant, student can work in small group again. Each group planting their chosen plant in a designated area of the garden. Learning opportunities. As they plant, teachers can discuss plants needs, sunlight, water, and basic biology, integrating science into the activity. Next thing, ongoing care. Watering schedule. Kids can design a weekly watering schedule which require collaboration and communication. They will learn to work together to ensure the garden is cared for properly. Garden journal. Each children can have a small garden journal to document the growth of the plants with drawing or observation. This teach literacy and encourage reflection. Fourth thing, harvesting. When the plants are ready to harvest, organize the celebration where the children can collect their products and share it with each other or even invite parents. Discuss the importance of sharing and enjoying the fruits of their hard work. Reflection and sharing. After the project had a garden closing circle where students can share what they learn and enjoy about the process. Encourage them to talk about teamwork and how they help each other throughout the project. Next slide. Example for CTL method. Benefits. Collaborative learning. Students learn to work together, respect each other ideas, and share responsibilities. Hands-on experience. Engaging with nature gives them a real life context for their learning. Holistic development is involve physical activity, environmental education, literacy, and sorry, wait a minute. Literacy and social emotional growth. This example not only fosters collaborative skills but also enhance students' understanding of the natural world and the importance of community engagement. Thank you. I hand over to next teacher.
Blended learning teacher. Rihanna teacher, Safrina teacher.
I do the last part, not this.
Yes.
Safrina teacher.
Now, I think this is Dilini teachers. Yes. This is a Dilini teacher, one, no? The one, no?
Lily, it's you.
Can you see, share the next slide, teacher? Next slide, please.
This is okay?
Next slide, teacher.
This one? Design.
Yes, okay. Flip. Class, teacher. Okay, here we are to talk about flip class. So these days we know a lot of students AI and artificial intelligence, lot of screen time. So basically, flip classroom. Previous slide, teacher.
Okay.
So the flipped classroom. So here, what is the flipped classroom? Flipped classroom is kindergarten. Flipped classroom in kindergarten. It involves instructional strategy that reserve the traditional teaching method. It in this approach, a student engage with instructional content at home, typically through videos and interactive materials, and then apply what they have learned during the class time through hands-on activities and collaboration learning. Basically, now what we do is when after we teach a lesson, we ask student to go home and do this homework. But when you are in flipped classroom, you ask your children before you do the lesson, you ask them to go go find from videos for interactive materials. You go and find these things because next day we are going to do this kind of activities inside the classroom. So instead of giving homeworks, go home and do, we are asking our student go home and do the research. Then when you come to the classroom, you can do the project with the teacher. That is the basically flipped classroom means. We are talking about the flipped classroom, teacher. Flipped classroom. Yes. Yes, that's one. So in these resources, you can see the links. The examples for flipped classroom, shapes and colors. We take the topic in shape and color. Age group is kindergarten. So objectives of this example classroom. We can take objective as observe, so, recognize basic shape, identify primary colors, develop fine motor skills. So flip classroom process. This is the main part. Pre-class home. Parents receive a video link from teacher explaining shape and colors. And children watch the video with the parents and encouraging the discussion. Then after that, in the class, activity happening, shape sorting station. It is happening in the classroom. You can provide shapes, various shapes, ask children to sort shapes by color. So this is the example for flipped classroom. Then other activity you can do uh, according to this flipped classroom, post-class home, assign shape, sorting worksheet, encourage children to find shape in their daily environment. So, assessment of children during the session, they work completed at home, conduct a shape color recognition quiz. So this thing also you have to do it at home. So basically, this is the classroom. Next, the design thinking. This is also very important. Design thinking is a lifelong skill that children will use to complex problems over their lives. And it's a valuable skill only in life. It is a very nice activity, a very nice approach student can use. Design thinking. When we talk about design thinking, they say it as DT, right? The DT method, design thinking is problem-solving approach that involves empathy, creativity, and spirit. So, always strategies of design thinking is emphasize, emphasize, understand problem and user's needs, and define the problem statement, and generate creative solutions, and develop prototypes, and refine solutions-based feedback. And what are the benefits from this deep user-centered? It is a basic user-centered, focus on users' needs and their experience, creative solutions. So it encourages innovative thinking and also interactive process out for continuous improvement. These are the things we can get from the design thinking. Thank you, teacher. I think we have come and end our session. Thank you all the teachers for doing their parts. Thanks again.